Hello, good evening everybody, welcome along to the JACKOCAR Cup Series here for rounds 5 and 6 of Season 4, here for Britain's double header. Yes, that's right, we're doing a double header here at Silverstone. We've done this for the last couple of years, but this time we're doing it both on the same night. Two 25% races, two separate qualifying sessions, plenty of drama, no jokers allowed, and plenty of chances for shock results. We've seen it plenty of times this season, and another shock, this might become the norm actually at this point. Jacko is racing again, so that means he is not with me, Owen Wyatt, in the commentary box. Instead, I've got Jess for the second week in a row. Hello, Jess.
Hello, I'm very excited about this one actually, because every single race tonight they have to do 2 stop. There's not 1 stop for the 25%, and don't forget also, there's another new rule as well. The person who wins this round, which is round number 5, they get to start from the back of the grid in round 6. So they're not allowed to do a crawly run in round 6. So it opens the field a little bit as well. And Jacko made things interesting. The stages are different tonight. For round 5, we'll go round 6 when it comes. But for round 5, this round, the stages are lap 4 and lap 7.
Yep, as you can tell, not very much between them, so we could have people snapping up both playoff points in one go in this race, then making their 2 pit stops afterwards. Plenty of strategy will get involved, and the rain in qualifying is going to potentially snap this grid into a different order as well. Looks like that might even be full wet conditions. Now, we've seen this happen here before. It is indeed full wet. We've seen this happen before in this league, on this track, in qualifying, where rain has caused utter chaos. Turn 1 is straight away a problem point, I'd say, and these drivers, this is the last thing they wanted to see.
Yes, no DRSs either in the full wet conditions, but you never know. We may have seen some situations where it has been wet to dry in the past, but for some drivers, they're going to hope it dries up, especially if you're towards the guys that are going to be qualifying last. But if you're qualifying in basically start first, you want rain for the whole session, because then you want to have the best chance of qualifying. We got 2 reserve drivers in today. We got a new driver becoming the 60th driver to ever race in the Cup Series, Ben Harriott, who is Ben for Spurs 96. He's coming in the pits now. He is filling in for car 15, and then obviously we got Jacko, as Owen alluded to earlier. He's filling in for Paul McGuinness tonight.
Yep, car 91 not taking part once again this season. Will we ever see him on track? Who knows, but he's still full-time as it stands, and that means Jacko can keep taking his spot every week. But yes, Ben then, first out onto the track. He's done it within his time limit. Of course, every driver can come out 45 seconds after the next. That is how the slots are set up. And if these conditions stay the same the whole time, I imagine all these drivers will be looking at these laps very closely indeed as Ben heads out. Now, it's worth pointing out that both these races will take place on the same track layout, because of course the short tracks are gone. I would have been absolutely expecting this to be one layout and then the other layout, long and short, but we're not allowed to do that because Codemasters fault. No one likes Britain short anyway, but like no one likes USA short or Bahrain short. Basically all the tracks we used, they've taken away from us. So yeah, both these races will take place on the same track configuration. So straight away we'll be hoping that this is a dry session for the next qualifying, because it'll mean we get 2 totally different types of session.
Yeah, we do as well, which could spice things up even more as well. So the people that excuse me, I literally just got back, so I haven't had much of a drink, but this could mean that we could see people in different orders in qualifying for round 6, because there may be people that love the wet in this round, but they hate the dry in round 6, for example, and vice versa. So don't expect it to be the same order in round 6, I have to say. Let's just hope it's dry, and then it could mean a whole lot of different things for the drivers. But Ben is about to start his debut lap in the Cup Series. Let's see how he does.
Turn 1 then, the big flashpoint we saw last time we were here in the wet. How is everyone going to deal with it today? Ben does get through nice and easily. He's a little bit slippery through turn 2, but he has made it through. Trust me, there'll be drivers who will struggle with that section of the track, so to get through there, it's good stuff. Remember, if you invalidate your lap, you must finish it, but obviously you won't get to keep the lap, and so that will be even more important. You don't make a mistake. This is where the one-shot quality system really does come into its own. as Ben does get through the first sector successfully. Other drivers are out there as well. We will catch up with them though as this session progresses, and Ben, he's looking okay. Slidey start, but I think he'll be happy enough if he can just get to the end of the lap, really.
Yeah, he's also got to get used to the JACKOCAR rules as well, because he hasn't raced with us at all, and he's got to get used to different conditions, different rules as well. I'm sure there's a lot of rules he's got to get used to, so he's looking good through cops though. In cops, you really can afford to not lift, whereas in these type of conditions, you really have to lift, otherwise you go into the wall. But yeah, I think he's struggling for grip in some corners, but again, it is full wet. It's quite difficult, especially with a typical British weather anyway. And he's going through Stowe now. Watch out for Stowe in the dry later as well. This may see a few invalidations and I just talked about it, and he's invalidated. So let's move on to our next driver, who is making his second appearance in the Cup Series, Jacko.
Looks like he's rejigged the livery a little bit. A lot more of the blue on there this time as he heads through Cop's corner. Very wide indeed, but it has kept it within the track limits, and as long as he keeps this one going, he will be ready to hit the screenshots button, as I'm sure most people watching this will be, because Jacko will be about to top the top tier of his own league for the first time. So this is a big moment coming up for him, well, beating another driver at least, but I'm not sure it'll last, but perhaps he could be a Silverstone wet master. Let's see, as he heads around, absolutely no pressure whatsoever to get through these last two corners, but you just need to know we're all watching you, mate. As he heads around, he will make it round, and this time will be somewhere in the 1 minute 40s, 1 minute 40.7. Jacko then the fastest time of the day so far, out of one, but yeah, it looks still. Oh, we nearly bend it, didn't though.
Oh.
Here's Thomas. So Thomas is now still the second bottom of the championship. Obviously Paul McGinn is the only full-time driver who's below him. Not a great season so far for Thomas, but he does have some points on the board, and we'll be looking to try and get some momentum up now as he heads through Stowe, and had a really decent qualifying last week. He looked competent as well in the race. You know, I reckon there's more points in it for him tonight if he can just get the consistency down. He's been unlucky with damage and other issues in races and spins in qualifying laps. He doesn't even get to keep his laps down. I don't know what he was thinking flooring it. He could have just hit the brakes and reversed across the line or something, but he's sort of not quite made that work, and that sort of sums his season up really, doesn't it, so far? Still though, he has 2 races tonight to try and get some points on the board, but he's not going to get any by doing that, and he'll be hoping absolutely we get a dry race.
Yes, next is Risky, who's had a few spins last week in Japan. Remember the last few laps of the race? It was utter chaos, to tell you the truth, and Risky was one of them that had a little bit of a spin. He's looking to do better tonight, of course, or almost a bit of a slide there, heading into the final corner, and he beats Jacko's time by 0.3 of a second. P1 for now. Next up, he is back this week. It's Camo Babo. He's raced on, well, he was meant to race in the Kia Series on Tuesday. I don't think he did, but this is his first opportunity to get a lap time on the board. Looking good so far. Again, I think he's going to beat Risky's time by the looks of things. We'll just have to find out as we're seeing more people doing their laps. Again, I still like Camo Babo's livery. It looks very nice. He comes across the line, and it is fastest bike. Quite some margin, actually. And up next is the purple liveried OKK, who is looking to have a better season than what he's currently had at the moment. But let's see how he does.
Purple then through the first sector for the purple car. Let's see, that's a good omen. His halo there, a very good message. First you have to finish. I think that's no clearer than in one of these qualifying sessions, certainly, and hopefully that'll be inspiring and round. Camo Babo about half a second clear up at the top of the standings. OKK hasn't quite read his own message though, so he has invalidated the lap. He will not go quicker, and this means now we do have to talk about him. Here's Kieran. He's also one of the drivers who had a few adventures towards the end of the Japanese race last time out. Of course, he was on for the victory, his first for the league, and it all fell apart with about 3 laps to go. He's not the only one who had multiple accidents, but he was the main one. And we still don't quite get how they all managed to do that. One of the most chaotic endings to a league race I've ever seen, where about half the grid all started spontaneously spinning off. And this is the guy who kicked it all off, so he'll be hoping to keep it just nice and clean this week. Get some good points on the board. There are 2 races to get some points back in a championship and get yourself in a position to go for the playoffs. As through the middle sector he goes, nothing purple popping up on the screen, so we'll see if he can go and set a competitive lap time as he crosses the line, but he's made it through Stowe, good stuff, keeps it nice and valid, and all he has to do now is navigate these last couple of corners, which, as Thomas proved, isn't as easy as it looks. Let's see, can Kieran go to the top? Yes, he can, by half a second. He's the first one into the 1 minute 39s. With 39.669 in fact, and next up is Vitinho. That's invalid. We caught that one on board just about as well as he lost it. Car in the pit lane retiring, I think that is just, so nothing to worry about there with the retirement. Means we can go and look at deck. Looks like a relatively decent first sector actually. We'll see if he can keep this pace up. He got a podium last week, did a deck through all the chaos. Hasn't been a full-time driver for long, but certainly is getting himself acclimatised to the JACKOCAR Cup Series way of things, and he seems very much like a driver who could still fight for a spot in the playoffs, but you just never know. But we'll see how he does tonight. Iceman has left the session, and he hasn't set his lap time yet, so hopefully he can get back in time to set the lap, because it would be a shame.
He's meant to be next, actually. Yeah. 10:15 was his slot, so he's missed it. He's missed his chance to do a lap, so he's not going to have the chance, unfortunately. So he too will be starting near the back of the grid. But let's hope Det does not start at the back of the... Oh!
Yeah, stop talking.
I keep jinxing people tonight. I shouldn't do it. I think I jinx Risky and he...
Oh, keep it valid. He has kept it valid at least.
He got to finish a lap, and it's better than not invalidating as he comes across the line. P5. So Ben's not setting a lap. It's Red Mat that's next, keeping his livery from last week. Got a bit of black actually this week as well, which looks quite nice.
Hopefully it doesn't glitch this week, because that's why it looked so yellow, because the floor was constantly turning yellow. It wasn't meant to do that. Ah,
so that was why then. He was purple set to 1. He was the drivers that got unlucky with the amount of safety cars we had in Japan. He was leading most of the race, got all the stage points, and then he had to pit for one more stop after the last safety car, and that demoted him quite a few places. He was very unlucky. He still got 10th, he still got decent points, but for me, I think he should have been higher. He started second last week in Japan, and he's looking like he's going to get pole today, maybe, but we'll see what happens with him anyway. But yeah, Red Mat and Cam, I think, were unlucky last week. I think there were some other drivers that were unlucky last week with the safety cars. I think I'm just trying to see who else. Vitinho was as well with the spins, and J. Luke as well. There was quite a few people that lost valuable points, but here comes Red Mat anyway. Past Stowe, looks all right so far. Not going to say anything about the final corners, because that's when a few people messed up last time. Looking good for me, and it's a 1:38.6 for Red Mat. A second faster than Kieran in second. Who's next on the grid? I think it's Jordan, actually.
Yeah.
Heading through Stowe with his rainbowed, haloed with livery as he comes towards Stowe now. He's in the bubble, I think, getting into the playoffs as well. So if he gets 2 consistent results tonight, that could surely mean that it would help him solidify his chances of getting through to the playoffs anyway. Remember, he was season 1 chase winner, so he's looking to solidify that. P3 for him, 139.951.
MK Bourne has invalidated, which is a shame for him. So it means we can go and look at Jamie. I think he invalidated his lap last week, Jamie. We didn't get to see much of him, so this is his chance now. We are watching you very closely, and he hasn't got his green helmet on this week.
Oh.
I mean, you've seen what colour your car is, my friend. You've gotta rep the right merch. But well, he heads round anyway, and we'll see how he gets on. I mean, in fairness, he's not the only one, of course. He was in the green tyres last week as well, and he's found a nose for blue, but it looks like a decent first sector. Cam is actually considering the greens, or at least he fought for 1 second. If you're watching drivers looking at the intermediates in the pits, that'll be them checking the delta to see if they can risk going out, basically, at the end of the session, because the track will potentially be improving, although it has to be said, it looks like it's actually getting duller. Might be on for some typhoon conditions, you know, in a moment, if this keeps going, or monsoon, is it actually known, but we see it very rarely on the game. It's something that you can't actually tell the game to do, as Jamie invalidates. It's something you can't tell the game to do, but it looks like we're possibly heading towards that as it stands, because it's the heaviest the rain has been this whole session. Could be bad news if you're one of those front runners who are trying to get another lap in, or trying to get their lap in, I should say, because it certainly feels like monsoon conditions could be heading our way. But let's just hold on it and see what the drivers are going to be able to do. Pete is in 10th at the moment, so there's so many cars behind him that have invalidated or retired, so even if it goes wrong for him at this point, he's still not going to be at the back. But he's going to want to make sure his lap is solid. But Jess, that definitely does look much heavier, doesn't it?
It does. It definitely does. You can barely see at the moment on track. So if I were you, just get a lap in. Just get a lap in. You'll be starting higher than the drivers that have invalidated as well. They may think to give up, but they can't give up like that. So Pete was one of those drivers last week that had more incidents than anything. He caused, I think, about 2 of the safety cars. He made 5 stops, still finished P9. Shows that you do not give up in JACKOCAR, because you only get points if you finish a lap. And I don't think it's going to be a better lap than Red Map, because obviously the conditions are so much worse. But as long as you don't make a mistake, you'll finish higher than the likes of Det, for example, who binned it. P7, yeah, is definitely getting worse. So bad news if you're the likes of Jake, Kyle, Cam, Arnold and Jamie, as they're still yet to set their lap. So who's next? I think it is Cajman, actually. Yeah, it is Cajman.
You can't even really look at the trackside cameras because they just get flooded with water at this point, so we'll just keep on board with our driver and we'll see how Jake can handle the conditions, or not handle them in this case. This is going to be well slower than anything that Pete's been able to manage, and it's bad news if you're Arnold and the rest. And we'll need to see just how this goes. And I'm going to need to go away for a second, so you're going to need to cover for me, Jess. Have fun.
Yeah, that's fine. So you'll just probably see Cajman on a lap all the time, but at least I get to see all the laps as well. So Cajman, I think, is going to end up, I think, below P at this stage. Yes, he is. That is P8 for him. Who's next? It's Carl up next, who booked his place in the playoffs last week with an excellent drive from 4th to 1st. He benefited from the safety cars as well, so he doesn't have to worry about the remaining races. But playoff points matters, because there's a maximum, I can't remember maximum points are on offer this week. Quite a lot of playoff points, 40, pretty much 17 playoff points at maximum that could be an offer today. Comes across the line, Carl, P5 for him. Then we have got Mr. Cam as well, another unlucky person from the safety car. He was, I think, P2 for the majority of the race, and he likes the wet weather, and he's going to hope that it's going to be wet for the race as well. Almost won in Baku. Could he win here tonight? We'll see. He's looking faster in sector 2, even though the conditions are looking quite bad, so it might be the game telling porcupines at the moment, but he is known for doing well in the wet. But again, there's no way he's going to beat Red Matt's time, because he's going so slowly through club now, and there's people that seem to be struggling, but he's going to beat some of the other times at least. 1:39.9, that's a very good lap time in these monsoon conditions. I think without the monsoon condition it would have been pole, so well done to him. Next is Arnold as well, who is one of my favourite liveries of the season, actually. Looking less gold, I think, in the wet at the moment. And he is lighting the timing screens alight at the moment with another purple sector as he heads towards Stoner. I think he can match Cam's time by the looks of things. Maybe get even better at the moment as a checker flag has just dropped. Jamie is also on his lap as well, but we'll follow him in a minute. Arnold has got a few more corners to go. Let's hope he doesn't slide across the line. This may be a lap and a half for him. No, P2, but still a decent lap. So it's just Jamie J-Luke on his final run through Sector 2 now. But I have to say, impressive from Arnold and Cam to master these wet conditions. I think those two would have got pole if it wasn't for the worsening conditions, I think. But let's watch Jamie first.
So he's heading through the Maggots Beckett's Chapel section. He looks a bit like he was slower than Arnold through the first sector by a couple of tenths. Let's see the middle sector. It needs to be sort of mid 1 minute 12 to be on his pace, and it is. In fact, the fastest middle sector of anybody today. So we'll see if this can get onto the front row of the grid. I have a feeling that Red Map might be a bit out of reach here, but Jamie, a good qualifying for him would be quite a big deal actually. So if he can get on that front row of the grid, he could be on for a properly strong result today. But let's see, he heads through the club corner now and through Vale as well. He's on the way to the line, and you know what? He'll take 4th place. He will take 4th. That wasn't too bad. But yeah, look at that, only 13 times on the board, and it is Red Mac then who's on pole. Arnold joins him on the front row, and you know what? This is a good race coming up ahead for us, because like I say, no jokers allowed, and if we get any safety cars, that'll make these pit stop strategies really just sort of in the air. I don't want to say it's about luck, but it is a bit about luck.
It is, isn't it? Because you got to judge your instinct as well. It's 2 stop. It's not like a normal 50% race. You have to judge your pit stops nicely. Some people may get their stops out the way nice and early, because as long as you do 1 timed lap on the tyres is absolutely fine. Some people may want to do a long stint and do softs to the very end on 2 softs, but I think we're going to have very different strategies today, and let's hope there's not many safety. Well, there isn't going to be many safety cars. In 25%, there's only 2 safety cars and VSC slots. So as long as both of them are out of the way, they can plan their strategies a bit more.
So the grid then: Red Map from Arnold, Kieran, Jamie, then it's Cam, Jordan, Babu, Kyle, Risky, and Jacko. Then Pete, Jake, Deck. Last one to set his time. The rest have no time whatsoever. And they are MK Bourne, Thomas, Iceman, Ben. Well, Ben Spurs, there's 2 Bens. Vitinho, Jamie, and OKK. And well, round 5 then. Shortest race of the season so far. And it's going to get matched by round 6 as well. But what are the conditions going to be? It's a lovely sunny day. Fantastic. Let's see what people have been doing with their setups. Were those slower times towards the end of the session partly due to that setup perhaps? Let's find out. But certainly going to be no rain for round 5 at least.
Yeah, that looks good. I think that means free choice of tyres as well. So could we see a lot of everyone on the mediums or everyone on the softs? They want to get their medium stuff out of the way as well. They're not restricted to what tyre they go on. It's going to be a great session as well. And for the softs, they can pretty much last the whole race. All the tyres can last the whole race. So it's about their judgment call, really. Maybe they want to get the slowest tyre out of the way. Maybe they want to get the softest tyre out of the way. Don't touch the hards. Leave the hards alone, thank you very much, because the hards don't have the much grip around it. Even though they last twice as amount of the 25% race, you do not want to pretty much think about going on these hard tyres, because they're just so much slower. In fact, they're around about a second slower compared to the soft, and about 5 tenths slower than the mediums. So we'll see anyway what tyres they go on to, and is everyone going to go on? Oh! No one's on. Well, it's only Cam, Risky, Deck, Thomas, Jamie, and a KK on the mediums. Everyone else is starting on the soft compounder tyres.
Well, what's probably happening there is that you can take a set of softs the whole 13 laps anyway, let's be honest. And so you're going to make your first pit stop for whatever the hell you want, and your second pit stop for softs. And so realistically, you're going to be doing, what, 11 laps maximum on the new softs. So, I mean, you might as well start on whatever you want. You might as well put intros on, to be honest, because they're all going to be trying to stream into the pits, I'd imagine, at the end of lap 1. But we'll see. We'll see. This is where the 2-stop strategy really does come into its own and could create some chaos. If we get an early safety car, this race is in chaos, because you can't pit on the restart lap. And you can't pit under that said safety car unless you got damage. So the people causing the safety cars tonight could be the ones who directly benefit. And Jacko, knowing the rules to his own league, if he's in the wall and there's a safety car for it, he's being kicked from his own league, because he'll have clearly done it on purpose.
Yeah, so I think we've seen people crash to get damage before. Remember Hungary last season with J-Luke? He got disqualified from the race, and it wouldn't look good for the league if Jacko was disqualified from his own league. So let's hope Jacko follows the rules, and don't forget, when he's involved in an incident, he's not allowed to steward his own incident. So, yeah, there's no bribes, Jacko, as someone has already spinned in the formation lap and almost took Jacko with him. But yeah, I think everyone needs to follow the rules to a T tonight as well. Remember the safety car rule. Remember the two-stop rule. There's bound to be people that forget on the 25%. So let's see. No disqualifications, fingers crossed. But with those safety car rules in play as well, if they leave it to the last minute and there's a last-minute safety car, they're pretty much going to be disqualified anyway.
So Red Mat then is parking up on pole position. Two spinners at the back, on the back straight, so they're going to leave the front runners just waiting a little bit longer. But when these two park it up, we'll be ready to race. And this is going to be a first for this league. We've done plenty of creative stuff around Silverstone before, but now we're going to see the 25% race, the double header, getting underway in a few moments. Come on, okay, get yourself on your grid spot, can't take that long. And finally, he's in position, we're in position, and now all we have to do is wait for the 5 red lights. Whenever they come on, everyone will be ready to go, and hopefully we have a clean turn 1. This is the one time you don't really want to see the accidents on lap 1, because I'm fascinated to see what the pit lane is going to be like at the end of this lap. But as usual with this game, the lights are taking absolutely forever. They'll probably all come on at once here, but they do take their time sometimes.
Come on, game. Make up your mind.
Take you through all the grid there. They're all sitting there. Which one's going to turn around into the chat and say, hobby's broke? There's always one, isn't there? Yeah. Always one. It's typical. We give it all the big build-up. It's Iceman's fault, basically.
Oh, yeah, because I think he rejoined you in the formation lap, maybe.
Idiot. But he's been given right advice. Leave and rejoin. Because you'll be on, you know, he'll survive the start, but this is another fun glitch in this working game. As we've seen many times before. He's now left, so where are the lights? Oh, still no lights.
It might be
Awkward.
Someone else then, as well.
We're just going to go through the whole field.
Oh,
there we go. So, the lights are on here. And Red Mat's on pole. He's away. Boogity boogity boogity. Round 5's underway. And there's a lot of wheel spin. We've got a crash already. I caught that on board, Kieran. That's just embarrassing, mate. As he heads through turn 1. Oh, and there's a big collision. And that is, well, Red Mat losing the rear end and being collected. And Arnold's going to have to pit with that. And there's more damage being done. Acorn or Deck gets a penalty for hitting Arnold. We've got a virtual safety car. You can pit under virtual safety car, but I imagine there'll be a lot of people looking to pit anyway. There's a lot of damage out there on this opening lap. And Arnold seemed to be getting hit from left, right and centre there, because he's hitting people and then getting penalties for being hit. But yeah, biggest loser on that start, apart from Iceman, of course. Mind you, I mean, Pete's not looking great either with his no front wing, but Kieran as well. At least he's escaped with no damage, but he just wheel spinned clean off the track on that start. Cam, the highest runner on the medians, he'll be hoping that he can get into the pits and onto Sauce as soon as possible. At the end of this lap, pretty much. Looks like they've all put their foot down, so are they trying to anticipate a restart? If they are, then J-Luke will be absolutely all over this, trying to get his third victory of the season. But we're still absolutely under virtual safety cars. It's down, you can see it in the top left corner. They will go eventually, but will they be in the pit lane when it happens? That is actually becoming more and more of a possibility, and it will certainly help the leaders out a little bit more. But no, it's gone green now. And Red Mat stays out. Is that a mistake? Because I think the rest are all into the pits. Look at this. This is what we want to see. The whole field are pitting. I think Jake Society doesn't fancy it. And now we've got some overtaking going on. Risky has just overtaken Arnold in the pit lane. And he's got a penalty for it. Oh, OKK's been spun off.
Oh.
In the last corner, he will come out of the back because there's no one really to hit him, actually. He might have just went on his own. Only, well, how many cars? We've got... Oh, he's gone again. We've got 7 cars have stayed out. The rest of them are all in the pits. And let's see how they all get through. Who's going to be the biggest gains? I'll tell you, Jordan's had to stack, and there'll be a few stacking. Kieran's day is getting worse. He's one of them. And Arnold, I think, is still chasing his front wing. He's going to end up coming out just ahead of only Pete. As Deck perhaps as well. Deck is going to have to be held back too. But as they've come out, it is Jamie from Cam. But will they pit again at the end of this lap? Who knows?
Yeah, we will see, because we only had one safety car slot, which is a VSC. There's only one more to go. Once that safety car slot is been there and gone, the final one, then that's it. So there's still one more to pretty much change it. I don't know why I would pit at the end of lap 2. I want to actually get some laps on the board, but you want to cover the undercut as well. Cam would want to catch up to Jamie quite quickly because he's on the softs, whereas Jamie is on the medium compound tyres as well. So the difference to the delta for that is around about 5 tenths. So he's 1.7 now, and he's already gaining in Maggots and Beckett's at the moment. He's looking very good so far. And he could overtake Jamie, but I think he's got to respond to what Jamie does, really. If he doesn't, then the undercut will just be more powerful for Jamie and the other drivers as well. So Jamie will probably be the less beneficial because he will have to worry about what everyone else does behind him. Jamie comes in, and Cam has to follow him. So does not goes Camo Babo. He stays out. Kyle goes in. Thomas stays out. Yep, he does. Risky stays out. A bit of a mixed bag this time. I thought everyone was going to dive into the pits, but no, there's only like half. So that is interesting, but there's 5 people that have already done their 2 stops now.
Yeah, it's a strategy I would go with, and I'm sure if they end up winning this race, these guys who are making the early stops, they're completely saved now from safety cars. For instance, if, say, this brings out a safety car with Deck round, he hits anything, there's a safety car, These guys pitting are out of the danger zone. And that's the important thing. They are now no longer in danger of being caught out by the safety car, and it would effectively win them the race. It would win Jamie the race. Simple as that. I think Cam might have had a slow stop as well. He's fallen a bit further behind, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. They've made their 2 stops. That's really important stuff. Jake, will he just go for these playoff points? Perhaps he will. He is staying out, so if he completes the next lap as well, he will get the first of 2 playoff points. We'll see how this goes though. Ben stays out as well. Jacko 2. Iceman, is he going to make his stop?
No.
Not yet. They're really leaving this late, these stops, and it sounds weird to be saying this. It's not really a race, this, actually, until they've all made their stops. But that's why we're sort of waiting for them to finish it, because the race doesn't really start until they've all pitted. Red Matt's now making his stop. Camo has stayed out. And, well, yeah, let's just keep our eyes on this then. How many are going to make a second stop? Not many. Not many. I think it's madness if you aren't making your second stop now. Just pit again.
You're running out of laps. They're running out of laps.
A safety car at any point messes your whole day up. So you got to be pitting. You've got to be pitting. There's no incentive to stay out apart from the playoff points, and that's only going to apply to Jake, who in fairness is taking his playoff points. But will he go for both of them? Because if he goes for both of them, then he really will be under pressure to get those stops in, because a safety car comes out and you can't make your 2 stops in time, you get black flagged. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I did say before the end of the formation lap we may get that scenario later on where some people just leave it too late and then boom, they have no choice but to be disqualified, and that ruins their chances of maybe getting into the playoffs. And this may be the race that decides everything. If they look back to see, which race has probably let me down, it'll probably be Silverstone. So, and Catchman's about to start lap 5, and he gets the second playoff point of the night. Obviously, the first playoff point went to the guy who was in pole position, and that means Ben is in the pits. I think he waited for that playoff point too, I presume. He's on mediums, but Iceman and Jacko stay out. I can see why Catchman stayed out. He wanted to go for the playoff point. But Jacko and Iceman, I don't have a clue why they stayed out, to be honest. But they probably know something that we don't. We'll see.
I don't think they do, because it's not going to rain.
No.
And we're not going to get a safety car that would help them. No safety car helps them. because they've made those stops. So they've made one stop and they get a safety car by their own means, and perhaps that could help. But nothing's going to help these guys. There's no point. Unless Jacko thinks Jake's going to pit before taking the second playoff point. And then he can get it, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
He's reserved, so he can't even get into the playoffs anyway.
Well, yes, but he'll also want to lead his own league, won't he? So...
And he wants to have the most laps led as well, wants to be on the board as well, because there is a table that goes out every week on who's led at least one lap, and Jacko may want to be one of them. Jake's going to be on one of them anyway. Here's Jake coming in. Yes, he is.
Yeah, so Jacko now can stay out for another couple of laps and take the second playoff point. So that's what he's going to do.
Iceman's in as well.
Is he?
I thought he was. I thought he was. I was following Jake. Yeah, he's
coming in.
I predicted
it. That'll leave Jacko then the only driver not to make his first stop yet. Odd decision, my friend. I mean, this is your league, so I'm not going to judge it, but what are you doing?
Yeah, I think at least there's 2 races. If it doesn't work for him...
Red map. This is big for the race. We do need to remember there is a race going on. And Red Matt is now on the chase trying to get to Jamie. And Cam will want to get there too. They've all made their 2 stops. It's going to be Jamie versus Red Matt versus Cam versus potentially Kyle if he can get closer as well. That is the top 4 that we're actually looking at for the race win. And so Jamie, will he find himself under pressure? And that is Iceman coming out right in front of him. That will give him a little bit of DRS to help, but he needs to be able to take advantage of it and get past Iceman, of course. So let's see if he can do that, because if he can't, it'll help Redmat catch just that little bit more. And he's not going to get through this time. No way. No way. So that is now Cam actually passing Redmat. So it's Cam who's going to be trying this one. He's on the softs till the end. So we will see if he can make those work. Red Matt perhaps on the wrong tyre, but in the last couple of laps perhaps they could overpower the softs. They might fall off, you never know. I doubt it though, but we'll see. We'll see. But either way, 2.2 seconds between Cam and Jamie now. Can Cam take his first victory? Let's wait and see. Jacko has started his playoff lap. He can actually pit at the end of this lap and he would still keep the lead. So he will probably pit this lap, make his first stop and take the playoff at the same time. Thomas is staying out just in case Jacko somehow pits and he can somehow pass him. I don't know what's going to happen though. And we are only left with a handful of drivers yet to make that second stop. So they are Thomas, they are Ben, they are Deck, who's pitting now, and Pete, who's pitting now, and obviously Jacko, who has to make 2. Very confusing stuff, but yes. Jamie starts at 7, let's say. He's the one we're really looking at for the race at the moment. And yeah, what's going to happen? We're already halfway through the race.
Time does fly by, and don't forget Jamie is one of the drivers that has made it through to the playoffs. Only a few drivers making it through to the playoffs. One of them is Jamie and one of them is Kyle. So I think he's looking to stop anyone from getting into the playoffs really. And don't forget there are esports teams involved in it this season as well. So I wonder if he's going to help any of his ART teammates get into the playoffs by points alone, rather than actually winning at the moment. I think that's what he's going to do. And Jacko finally goes in into the pits for his first stop. For his sake, he hopes there's going to be no more safety cars.
Yeah, because he, in the free air, might have made some time up. In fairness, he should really be probably still well in the top 10. But we'll see, because it's a long pit lane. You might be looking at the graphic there and thinking, well, he'll come out in the lead, but then he has to make another stop, and then it'll be like, right, where's he then? But he should actually, theoretically, hold on to the lead, will he? Not quite. Ben will get him, so Ben will lead it on debut, but he has to make another stop. Jacko has to make another stop. Thomas doesn't, so where's he going to come out then? Might give you a bit of an idea as to where Jacko might end up. Actually, it won't really, will it? Because, yeah, they're going to fall well behind. Thomas, though, it's top 10, isn't it? Might just make top 10. Let's see.
He comes into the pit exit. Where's
He
Vitinho?
will.
Oh, that's very close. Thomas just got him, so the overcuts worked for him. So Thomas and Vitinho on the soft, so is Risky as well. Jordan the only one behind on the medium tyres, so he's going to probably drop back a bit, but at least he's catching a bit, so his medium pace is actually quite good. But MK Bourne is falling off as well, so that might give Arnold a chance to get some moves done as well. He hasn't got any penalties, whereas Kieran has. I wonder if Jacko is going to pit next lap as well, so he gets his 2 stops out of the way. If I were him, I would do that. I would do that to them. And if a safety car does come out, he doesn't have to worry about a black flag at all as well. So, and Kieran gets another penalty as well, so that is not good at all. Still people who haven't made their second stop. Ben, Jacko, and I think that's it. Everyone else has made their 2. And Ben goes in after 2 laps on being on the mediums, and now he's going to go on to softs until the end. He's going to be quite fast. I wonder where he's going to be, actually, but we'll find out in due course anyway. Jacko, what are you doing, man? If the safety car comes out now, he's instantly DQ'd. There's no way. There's no way he's going to come back from this. So, for Jacko's sake, he's going to hope no one bins it. But they're all so close together. Red Mat's on the back of Cam as well. But the net race leader at the moment is J-Luke. So that could be an interesting fight. I don't think Cam's going to catch him, but we'll find out in due course. So Ben's going to come out behind. He's going to come out just in front of MK Bourne. So Jacko's not going to be in the top 10 at this point. Interesting.
So, no one's really fighting out there. I'm not too sure this is working, to be honest, because everyone's really just been too interested in their pit stops to worry about the racing bit. But perhaps in the last couple of laps we'll get some of that. Of course, there's a whole other race to be taking place tonight, but this one, definitely they care more about the strategy than they do about the finishing result. I mean, you can see there's plenty of position change, but, you know, Jamie, again, he did this, I think, last week in Japan, just made loads of places
Red
up.
Mat on Cam, heading through stuff. I think Cam was a little bit less confident now, and he just let Red Mat through, so...
Might be the tyres. I was saying about this, the sauce might possibly go up a little bit and the mediums will come into their own.
Yep.
Is this where Red Mat can put on a charge for the win? Jamie and Thomas, if these two crash and bring out a safety car, your league owner isn't going to be finishing this race. So they've really got to keep it clean for his sake, because this will be bloody awkward.
Oh, Jamie and Thomas almost went into club.
Good racing.
Yeah, they almost collided, but they just kept enough space. That's what we want to see. Harsh defending, that's what we want to do.
And that's the safety car.
Oh, no. Jacko is screwed.
Well, let's see. Let's see. Will it come out in time?
Yes.
What they need, what Jacko needs is for this thing to pit at the end of lap 11, and then he can pit on lap 12. But
oh, Jacko.
Is that going to happen? Because the field is so far apart. This could be black flag for the league owner, and there'll be nothing he can do about it.
No, it can't.
This is really awkward. I mean, of course he could illegally make the stop, and then just cop a 30-second time penalty.
But he'll be last.
But he will be last anyway. You might as well cross the line first. Maybe he'll create some drama for the net race leaders. But this is an awkward one for Jacko. My goodness, who would have?
Of
course, he's the only one who does this.
Maybe he'll change
like it was
his
meant
strategy.
to be.
He'll change his strategy next race. He'll probably pit at the end of the first lap this time. That's what he should have done, my friend. But has he done it? Nope.
This is why, Jacko, you should never have left the commentary box. Because this is possibly a DSQ. Let's hope for his sake that he doesn't get DSQ. He's finishing last anyway, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Well, maybe yes. If the safety car goes in at the end of this lap, then he can pit and finish last. If it doesn't, he will not finish. Simple as that.
You could just cross the line in first in the game. And then
it will... Obviously he'll get the podium ceremony and all that stuff, but then we'll have to take it away from him. And it would be Jamie, who's on for a third victory in 5 races in a season that we've all been expecting, this guy to dominate. But no, Arnold sat in 12th, soon to become 11th. But his season, when's he going to get a win? It just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. He needs that ticket to the playoffs. He will get it, but he needs to start winning some races, and He's going to have to rely on the second Silverstone race for that to happen. But will this train catch up by the end of this lap? Possibly. Will be tight though. Obviously they do slow down plenty in the final sector, but we'll know as we head towards Cops. And like I say, this is serious now for Jacko. As the Aston Martin safety car leads them all round, Jacko will be praying that those lights go off, because he's got embarrassed written all over his face if this doesn't go well, and trust me, we're milking every moment of this.
Yeah, I'm usually
he
there
might
on a Thursday.
just get away.
I'm usually there on a Thursday watching these guys.
He might just get away with this, Jess.
Yeah, we would. Well,
Let's
I think
see.
the safety car lights go off, I think, heading through Stowe. Sometimes it goes off through here.
Well, it could be here. I reckon, yeah, he
he's
does get
fine.
away with it.
So
he
does
doesn't
get a
get
point.
DSQ'd,
Yes.
thank goodness for that.
Oh.
You can finish in 19th place. Jeez, that was worrying though, wasn't it?
But now he's going to
Right.
show us how to do a safety car restart at Silverstone.
Yep. He's going to have to find some grids to restart on, because I'm not sure there's many before the start finish line, but I'm sure there'll be enough. And of course you can't go until you get to the, what is it, 2 rows of grids before the safety car, before the start finish line. Whole field is caught up. Jamie is praying that Jacko doesn't do anything monumentally stupid here, because it could cost him a race victory. And we're away. Jacko's restarted well, but Jamie's better. And Redmat's under all sorts of pressure from Cam, who's had by far the best restart, but he's going off the track.
Oh,
And I think those two have taken each other off. And that's Redmat and Jamie off the road. And now it's Kyle fighting for the race lead as they head through turn 2 and 3. This is where you really need to hold your bottle, Cam, because you're only 2.5. Oh, you're one. Oh, he's 1.5 laps away for the win, but nearly into the back of Jacko and Thomas. Come on, Thomas!
Oh, this is
Ignore the
great.
rest of them. Thomas is right on this. I didn't even see him. He hasn't won for so long. Can Thomas get a race victory? Can Cam get his first? Jacko's holding the field up, but Cam's into the race lead. Kyle's into second position, and we'll see that Thomas will be on for third soon. But look at Kyle, he's all over the back of Cam as they head through Cops.
Wow.
And this is dramatic stuff for Jamie and for Redmat, who fires us at the back. But now Kyle is fighting for his home race win, and he's all over Cam. Luckily for Cam's sake, there'll be no DRS to worry about, but he's gonna have to weave like there's no tomorrow. As long as you don't weave dangerously, it's okay. And Kyle, he's not gonna get by until this last lap. But oh my goodness, if these two have any issues, you know who'll be waiting in the wings. It'll be Thomas for her first victory in so long.
Don't
Let's
forget,
see.
Jacko is scoring points. Well, if he was helping his ERT team, because it is esports championship. So I wonder if he was doing that to help Carl and Thomas catch up for them two to score points for ERT in the esports cup, because it's an ART versus ERT. In the esports teams championship. So I think Jacko might have done his team a favour there, but it might be too little too late. Cam may get his first win. Carl may get his second win of the season. The only person to get more than 2 wins this season is Jamie, but he's had a bit of an off. But Jacko's not going to be last anymore as he comes out the pits. He's done his 2 stop. Everyone has done 2 stops now. Carl has got to have a lap of dreams in order to get past Cam, because Cam is loving life at the moment. Thomas could get a podium.
Oh, Risky wants it though. Risky's being hyper aggressive all over the back of Vitinho, and he's through. Will Thomas have the podium taken away? Let's see. Kyle as well. He's got not enough VRS because Cam, they both have full tanks, and it's enough to get Cam through. And with just a couple of corners to go here at the British Grand Prix, the first of 2 races tonight, we're going to see Cam book his ticket to the playoffs. All he has to do is get through. We've seen so many cars lose it here, and as he comes around the final corner, I think he's done it. Cam crosses the line. He's going to the playoffs. Kyle finishes in 2nd place. Thomas does come home to claim 3rd. Risky is in 4th place. Vitinho, Jordan, Ben, Arnaud ended up 8th place in the end. MK Bourne and Jake were the end of the top 10. And Camo, followed by Pete, Kieran, deck, okay, and we're still waiting for a front wingless Jamie to get overtaken by Jacko, hopefully not taken out by Jacko. Jacko will end up in 16th. He really didn't need that safety car, but made for a little bit of entertainment, I guess. So Jacko from Jamie, then Iceman, and then Red Matt. And it was the collision at turn 1. I think it was Red Matt sort of just lost the rear end, or Jamie or Red Matt, and they both sort of just took each other off. It was an unfortunate incident. Happens at turn 1. Same sort of way we saw the safety car brought out in the first place with Jamie, sort of having the same thing happen. Oh. This game's crap.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna rage.
As well.
I'm not gonna rage. Luckily, we got the order done, but I don't know who's got the fastest lap. And I assume everyone's game has cancelled. Luckily though, thanks to the PS5's incredibleness, it can tell me that the video is paused, but you can still hear my mic. I'm not too sure if you can hear Jess's mic. But what's basically happening is the game is doing its trademark, I don't want to work anymore, and it's decided it's crashing. So I guess we just need to wait a minute. This tends to be bad though, because often when this game crashes, has yours still got a 72% error bar? Yeah, this is how my hard drive on my PS4 got broken once, and it was very traumatizing, and I really hope that this just sorts itself out, because I just don't want to have to deal with this again, you know. But we'll have to just sit here and chill. I can't even have a conversation because no one's going to hear.
No one's going to hear me.
Yeah, this is fun, isn't it? Well, probably isn't the best time to advertise that this game is still like 60 quid.
Cam got just said in the chat, because he's still in the game, Jake has got the fastest lap, so he gets the playoff point.
Cheers, that is very useful information. So Jake then, fastest lap, he gets the point. I don't want to have to restart the stream.
I have to restart my PlayStation.
But I think I also have to restart the PlayStation, yeah. I'm going to hold on this because I don't want to restart my PlayStation and risk it bricking itself. Because these things can happen, so I'm going to have to sit here and wait. And you know what, Codemasters, this is your fault. It's your entire fault. In fact, Lee Merver is getting this sent to him right now. The idiot. I mean... man.
I can actually send a screenshot because I'm actually recording this.
Oh yeah, I can screenshot it. Well, that's handy. Right.
Hello, game. Wake up.
Ah, dear. This is rubbish, isn't it? I mean, this is actually just stuck. I'm giving.
Thanks to Iceman. Dink
sink. Iceman's dink sink is what's causing this. Right. I think I hate restarting this PlayStation when I'm having to hard reset.
I'm gonna have to restart mine as well.
Because I can't even do anything, because I have to actually I can't just turn it off using the controller like I normally would. I have to actually physically turn the console off, possibly just by holding the off button until it does something, because this game refuses to go past 72% checking error status. Well, actually, let me just check. Maybe not 60 quid, but I want to just check how much this game costs. Just out of curiosity.
Well, it depends if you have a PS4 or PS5.
Well,
59 US.
Well, let's compromise and say it's about 35 quid, right? I don't have 35 quid. If I did, I would never spend it on this ever again. This is a joke.
$54.99.
No, you can get it cheaper than that. That's probably the most expensive one. But
alright.
I think I've seen some for 35, but... Oh, right. We'll be back soon. Enjoy this intermission. Oh, and if I start, if I never come back, my PS5 will be dead because of Lee Mover. You can hear the beep there. It's not bloody doing anything. There we go.
Yeah, I'll see you in a bit whilst I restart my PS5.
I wonder if you can see the turning off screen. It's a very interesting screen because I'm still live, but it is turning off. It
How
says
do you
it's now.
hard reset? You just hold the button?
I've just held it until it beeped twice, and now it's saying it's preparing to turn it off. Whether that means it's actually turning off, or just gonna sit there. Ah, crap. Okay, right.
I'm gonna have to do the old-fashioned way then, if that doesn't work.
What's the old-fashioned way? Don't tell me it's pulling the plug.
Yeah, that happened in the one hub race once.
No. I'm not pulling the plug. If I had to pull the plug on this thing, I might as well just set fire to it. This is right. Right. I'm gonna just hold the button and see what happens. It might explode. I don't know. Holding the button's not doing anything.
Is he still? You're still alive. Apparently.